two people in. Hello. I'm pretty sure most of y'all notice that it's a waste of time to try to prove anything to a narcissist. Never waste your time trying to prove anything to them because it's a waste of time. They're never gonna believe you in the first place. They're never gonna believe you in the first place. And when a person don't want you to be right and they uh they thrive off of you being wrong and devaluing you, then you always have to be worthless and wrong. So a person who's always worthless and wrong is never right. So you can't never be right because it's a game to them. So if you're right, that means they lose. So they have to win. So if they have to win and everything is like a game to them and they think like kids and they are big on arguments and winning, then you being right is a waste of time or trying to prove yourself. Because no matter what, you're going to be wrong no matter what. No, and it's a form of then you can't be in control either. So if they want to be in, and that puts you in control of being right. So if you right, then you're in control. If you're wrong, then you're not in control, and then you at a state of where you feel low self-esteem. So that's where they want you at, feeling low, feeling like you're not worthy. So if you're right, if you're right, it's kind of like you have the power. So, and then also trying to prove yourself to them how they see it is that once you try to prove something to them it's like, okay, you are, they are right because you're trying to prove that you are wrong. Whatever they want you to also, whatever they want you to show them, they need to be in control of how you do it and when you do it. They need to tell you how to do it. It's not up to your own knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of how to handle the situation or how to prove it. They want you to prove it, and then some cases, they don't even care. They just want you to jump over hoops and hurdles to please them. So when you jump through all these hoops to please them, this makes them feel good about themselves. That makes them, they feel good about themselves to sit there and watch you uh, things to them. It's like showing them how they got all this value. So it's really, part of that is really a mind game of them gaining self value, you know? And everything that you know that's true, you don't prove it to them because you know. Like if you're a good person, a good woman, say if you're in a relationship or a marriage, you know you're a good wife or a good husband, right? You are feeling like you're not because of the things that they're saying, because of the gaslighting and things like that. Okay, you might feel that way, because that's what they're saying. But you are, but you will go through all these things to try to keep proving it when you already are. Then you'll find yourself in a state of complete deprive of energy or any faith left about the situation because you don't even understand that you are proving what's already true. They just gonna render you bad, and they picked you in the first place because of the thing that they are saying that you suck at or not good at or you're not doing good enough. Is the reason that they uh picked you in picked you in the first place. Like, say if men, if you're a good provider or a good husband, they picked you because of that, right? But then they would take shots at you and devalue you in the areas that you're good at and say you're not good at them areas. So it's a mind trick game, reverse psychology. So the things that you're good at, they will say you're not good at. And then you'll find yourself trying to become what you really are. And that's one of the things that they do. And you'll think you don't have self-worth and have any value. They don't want you to feel like you have self-worth or you have any value, even though that is the reason why they chose you in the first place. Mr. Toya 100 Arnold, hey, what's up, bro? In the first place, so even this goes in any situation. If you're a good worker at a job, they will criticize your work at the job because they don't want you to believe and think how really good you are. They don't want you to know that or believe that. So what they'll do is they criticize. And what it is, they try to take what's good from you because they come to steal and destroy, right? So what happens is they try to steal, they try to steal your gift. They can't actually take your gift from you, but they find a way to kind of steal it by making you believe or see or think that which you don't even have what you have, you know? If you're good at your job, the narcissist will try to make you feel like you suck at your job. They will criticize you every step of the way. And you'll know it because every little nook and cranny they will complain about. They'll find any little nook and cranny to complain about or or criticize or critique something about it. And you'll be saying to yourself like, come on, it's not that serious. Like every little thing, you know, it got to be 100% perfect. If not, then and they'll overblow the situation or whatever happened. So that's how you. So that's one of the reasons how you know. If you know you're good at something and you know, I've been here before. Even when you try to make efforts, they will make it seem like your efforts ain't good enough. Hi, how you doing? Yeah. So even when you make the efforts, they will complain. So especially if it's not up to the status of what they wanted it to be, you'll try to make your efforts and they'll still complain. They'll still say, you know, they'll complain about something. They say you don't cook. Ladies, if the narcissist say you don't cook, so then you cook. They'll complain about the cooking. They'll say something about the cooking. Oh, now that you cook, oh well, you don't cook enough, or you don't cook good enough, or you don't cook what I like, you don't cook what I want, or you don't cook at the time I want. You get what I'm saying? It'll always be something. It has to. They're never satisfied, and they always will complain about something. It's kind of hard for them to give you compliments. I mean, they will, but in most cases, they'll shut everything down. But they will give you some compliments about some things. But it'll be small things. It won't be like big things. It'll be small things. Don't try to prove yourself to them. I've been there, I've done that. Don't try to prove to them you love them. Don't try to prove to them you like them because 9 times out of 10, you already done that. And what's happening is that they just devaluing you. You got a devaluing stage, or they are just doing what they normally do. You are a nice guy. Well, thank you, Face Me. They are just trying to get you at a state of, because you could be at a devaluing phase of where they devaluing you because they're about to discard you, or what normally happens, or you could just be getting devalued from them because they want to devalue you because you're on your high horse. Also, they do this too because if you just got a promotion at a job, or if you got an increase in your pay, or if you didn't have a job, you have it. You have one now. That bothers them, you know. So what it comes with that too is also an attack. So they'll just say anything, and then you'll be trying to fix all this stuff and going through all of this and all of that, and you trying to fix the situation, trying to better the situation, and it's a waste of time. It's worthless. There's no point because they are never satisfied. It's so much you got to do just to please them. Then you wasting all your time and all your energy at 24/7, and then it's always something on top of something. Versus this, then it's that, then it's this, then it's that. Then it could be one thing, and then it just turns into how you got to perfect it so much. So it's so much time and there's so much time in everything that you'll have to they'll demand you put involved into it, and then you'll just spend all this time just involved into it, trying to fix the situation and trying to be a better you, a better person than you, and you'll end up going too far to where you lost yourself. Like you're not even living your life, and you're not even worried about you or concerned about you. So don't waste your time trying to prove yourself to trying to prove yourself. It's definitely a waste of time. Face me, hello. Right? If you're not good enough already, then they shouldn't even be bothered with you. You know, if they not, If they don't like who you are, who you already are, then you shouldn't even be bothered with them because believe me, they picked you for a good reason. They are good pickers of good supply. So if they picked you, they picked you for a good reason. Oscar, what's going on, Oscar? Right. And what happens is too, they'll tell you about stuff that they're jealous of that you got. Like if you got a gift and you good at it, they'll keep acting like you're not good at it. They'll keep acting like you're not good at it, you know. And this will happen if you're good at a sports, if you're good at singing, no matter what it is. That's what we're doing. It'll just be that, especially at your job. If you're at your job, you do a good job, they'll act like they have to be on top of you. Your boss, your supervisor, your manager will act like they have to be on top of you. Like, like you're not, like you're not doing a good job, but you actually are. That's to take that. Uh, that's to take something from you. That's to take your pride from you. Your happiness, your joy. It's just to make you feel bad, especially because to them it's like if you're good at something, that means something. That's to them that's like a high status to actually be good at something. It's almost like a kid when they good at something. You know how happy they are and joyful they are, and it becomes a thing now because they are finally found something that they're good at. And everybody loves something that they're good at. Everybody needs to be good at something. Everybody's good at something. And they understand that. But it comes from a mind view, a point of them being kids, thinking, having a childish mind. And also being envy and jealous of you as well. So, especially if they see you better than you're better than them at it, or something that they can't do. You know, they looking at you like because they understand they have a problem with that. It's hard for them to do that job, or they wish they had that gift, or they wish they could do that. They wish they could be like that. They wish they could be you. And it comes from that place too. So now I'm gonna attack you and criticize you, patronize you, and shun you about what you're good at, what you could do, your looks, whatever it is, and don't never. If you know, you know, then you know. Don't try to prove something. If you know that you're good, at whatever you do, know that you're good. Don't take other people's words for it if you know that you are. And I'm not talking about constructive criticism because they don't give constructive criticism at all. Things there. Everything's cool, Oscar. Oscar, I try my best to be a very bad source of fuel for them. Oh, you try. Oh, yeah, you try not to be fruit. You try to make sure that you don't let them get energy from you. Right, right, right. Because they definitely looking for fruit all the time. They want fruit all the time. So you know, Bernard, it's the pathological envy and jealousy the narcissist has over you. Yup, yup. That's it, Kanar. Right. And look, you'll get better and better at it. But listen, what they do. Also, though, if you do a good job, they'll say something slick like, "Okay, you did a good job today, but you do a good job every day." You see how slick that was? See how slick that was? Or you did a good job today, but you do a good job every day. And then it also comes to where you didn't do enough, or you didn't do it how good they wanted to do it, or how they wanted to do it. You know, like if a spouse say to you, "You never buy me anything," or "You don't take me out," right? You buying something, it wasn't expensive enough, it wasn't good enough, you didn't buy enough, or it wasn't expensive enough, or you take them out, oh, the restaurant wasn't good enough, it wasn't expensive enough. It'll always be something. Be as boring as I can be, watching wet paint dry on the wall, watching yacht racing. Yeah. So yeah, don't waste your time trying to prove no to them. I've been there, I've done that. You end up giving your person your all. You end up giving them your all in a friendship, relationship, even at a job. You end up giving them your all, and it's still not good enough. But always give your best you, and just leave it there. But if it's time for you to cut ties and not, waste your energy or time, or you see like nothing is going nowhere, you're not appreciated. Because the point is, you're not appreciated in the first place. So if you're not appreciated, then just forget about it. If you're not appreciated, just forget about it. They don't see they don't see you for who you really are. Just forget about it. Don't waste your time on it. And then also too, you be in a state towards like I gotta fix me, like I gotta fix me. I gotta keep getting better. And then what happens is you start looking at them like they're the greatest person in the world. You look at them like they're the greatest person in the world. Then you go into a state to where you're looking down on yourself, really feeling bad. Then you put them very high, you put them on the pedestal and put yourself down. And then it ends up going like that. But I feel like the next smear campaign just won't stop. Yeah, it's not gonna stop, Craig. It's most likely gonna keep going. You see, when 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 you're destructive and corrupted, and you fool with that, and you're with that energy, because energy is energy, right? So if that's your energy, then you're like that way all the time. So that's why the negative energy that they spew out and all the drama and the chaos never stop, because that's just who they are. That's their energy. So they're gonna spew that because it's just nonsense. They're gonna spew that out all day, 24/7, because that's all they can do. That's what they about. That's what they love to do. That's what they breathe, and they got to get all that stuff out. You know what I'm saying? And they got to get their rocks off. They got to make somebody feel bad because they feel bad. And you got to understand, they go through the day dealing with so many knock injuries that you don't even know about. Like, say, like you at work, their boss, or your boss, or whatever, or a coworker told them they don't do a good job or they messed up a job. They are mad about that, and they're gonna take it out on somebody else. They're gonna take it out on somebody else. So they'll take something out on you that has nothing to do with you. Somebody else caused it, but I'm gonna put it off on you, because for one, they're too coward. In most cases, they're too coward to say something to the boss, right? Because they know that's a lose situation, and they don't like to be in situations where they know offhand they're gonna lose, because it's all about winning to them, right? And it'd be easy for them to get suspended or fired for something like that. So they won't they won't say nothing to the boss. They'll just go and complain to all the coworkers. They'll go and complain to all the coworkers, though. They'll complain to all the coworkers, and then they'll start a smear campaign about the boss, talk behind the boss back, complain about the boss. But then they'll take their anger out from somebody else. They'll take it out on somebody else, but they won't take it out on the person who caused the narc injury. And that's sometimes what happens, ladies, when your man come home and all of a sudden he's attacking you or cussing you out or complaining about you or just upset with you because whatever they was at. It could have been at the grocery store. It could have been anywhere, visiting family at a party or whatever it was. They had a narc injury and now they have to take it out on somebody because they're pissed off. So they're going to spew that. Like a normal, healthy adult can handle that situation and don't have to take it out on nobody else. But with them, that's not the case with them. Somebody got to pay for how I feel. Somebody made me feel bad. I got to make somebody feel bad. And that's why I have a video if you haven't seen it, watch it. About narcissists needed punching bags, and this is why they need punching bags, and this is why they always need somebody around so they could punch on, because they have to they have to get their rocks off. It's also power too that they can make somebody feel low about themselves. It makes them feel like they have power. So that's another reason why they do it as well. No, to get away from narcissists, let go of hope. They will never change. Right? That's true. You can't have hope with them because there's no hope for them. Like they're not going to change. And the best way I learned to deal with that is that once a person show you who you are, once a person show you who they are, believe them. Believe them. Once they show you who they are, believe them because they're not going to change. They'll lie to you, or either they'll make up to you, they'll say they sorry, or they'll fake change for a little bit, and then they'll go right back to what they done before, you know. So they definitely don't change. They do not change. There's no hope for them, you know. And it's cool to have hope. It's good to have hope, but it's for certain things. There's no hope for it. They are no hope for it. I've been there before, years and years hoping, wishing, doing all these things to change stuff, all different type of situations too, and relationships too. And now it won't happen because now it won't happen because I understand that some things are just a dead end, and that's what basically it is dealing with a narcissist. You don't run into a dead end, and you need to turn around and go back and get on the road. Since to where you got options. You need to get off the road with them, like because they are definitely a dead end. So you don't want to have hope because there's no hope. They never change. They stay the same. And this is where they got harems, and they keep rotating because they keep rotating supply because you know people end up leaving them because they get bored with supply. Things happen. If a supply gets sick, they're gonna leave the supply if the supply gets sick because they're not here to take care of nobody. It's all about them. So you get hurt, you get injured, you get sick, they out the door. So this is why they keep a harem of supply of different people, for different reasons of different type of supply. So, and it, what, well, the narc has twisted the truth about the relationship that we were in. They turned family, neighbors, and even other YouTubers against me. Yeah, correct. That's what they do. That's the smear campaign. It's because that they have to get, and that's kind of like psychopathic. Like they try to get you to take the blame from what they did. So, because think about it, the thing that they said you do or the lies they made about you is more about them, and they don't want that out, in the open. So what they doing by the smear campaign is covering their tracks and covering their false face. Look at my face right now, right? This is the false face of a narcissist, right? Look, right? This is how they appear, like, but this is how they really. But this is the real them under that mask, right? So they're trying to cover this up, right? And so they act. So they go around like this, right? So when you expose the real them, that's basically they gotta die. That's almost like they gotta die. That's how they feel inside, because now everybody gets to see them for who they truly are, and they don't want that to happen. So they have to be 10 steps ahead of you. So when they know it's going bad and they see that it's going bad, and they feel like, okay, it's time to leave, because once you start noticing everything and you start complaining and you start second guessing, they understand that. They see like, okay, this person is starting to, see my BS, and they starting to get tired of it. You start speaking up for yourself. You start blaming them for stuff. Once you start doing that, and it's kind of difficult to deal with you, and you don't just go with what they want you to say and do, and just let them walk all over you, when you start standing up for yourself, having a backbone, speaking up, saying, no, I was right, you was wrong, then that's when they feel like it's time to leave because they're not in control. They just want to have completely control to walk all over you. So once that part happens, then that's when they start the devaluing phase. That's when that's when the smear campaign comes at the same time they devaluing you, and then that's why Craig, they turned everybody about you. They twisted the truth about the relationship. So because they didn't do that, and people want to know what happened with your relationship, you would tell the truth about what happened. They don't want that to happen because they don't want the truth about. Because listen, the false images, they got the false image about themselves. That's what they want to keep up and want people to see and believe. So if you got close to them and got to see it. So the people that's close to them and get to see the true them, then they have to discredit you. So what happens is they discredit you, and then they start the smear campaign by discrediting you, and also they've been keeping up that false image with everybody else, but not with you. You got to see the mask unfold and see the true them, but everybody else haven't, and they know that, so they could just lie and say that, well, you was like this, you was like that. Before you know it, you wake up and, like you said, they twisted everything about the relationship, lied about it, and then and see how they went to everybody. Like you said, family, neighbors, and even YouTubers are against you. They went and smear campaign you in front of everybody before you even knew what hit you. That's how that works. That's how that goes. It's to protect them from their false image. It's almost like having insurance. It's almost like an insurance policy to them. I'm gonna do a video about that too. The smear campaign is like an insurance policy. Just in case things go wrong, you have insurance. You don't want things to go wrong, but it's better to have insurance if something do go wrong. You know. So that's definitely a topic I'm gonna do. The smear campaign is basically the narcissist insurance policy. It's an insurance. So. That's Oscar. They're never to blame for anything. It's always everyone else's fault. Yep. And that's a big red flag of a narcissist, a person who don't take full responsibilities for themselves. They never wrong about anything. Nobody's that perfect, especially if you got so many things wrong. You're not to blame for nothing. Like that's why I tell you guys too. Not only we understand and get them, and we learn in them, we know them, but we also got to learn about ourselves. What caused us to be put in that situation, allowed ourselves to get in that situation, and continue that. What is it about us we need to change or fix, you know, within us, our way of thinking. We need to better ourselves so that won't happen again. Uh, Lanela, I'll just say Lanina Alea, I hope I said it right. Do you think a narcissist could kill someone because they have no feelings for anything but their agenda? Oh, yeah, it's definitely possible. It's definitely possible. Yes, it's definitely possible, and it's definitely happened before. I mean, it's stories, and you hear about people who do these things. That's definitely true because that's more important than anything and anybody. Their agenda. Craig, even had random strangers claiming I cheated on them when I never met them in my life. Wow. Believe the narc person in the family tree wants to murder me. Wow. Wow. So I mean, it's possible. MS, 50 years of narcissistic abuse. Champion, finally free of the devil. I know I was with the wrong people. I didn't know that the problem was until I educated myself. Thank Educated myself. Talk to God, educate yourself. Yes, MS, yep. MS. The narcissist is the devil. Resist the devil, block the devil, and they will flee. Yep. Yeah, you gotta resist the narcissist. You gotta stay away from them. Like once you know and you see them red flags, you can't get in my life. I'm good. No way. Craig, the narc. even took my positive traits, used that against me. Oh yeah, that's another thing. They're like chameleons. Yeah, they mirror you. That's another thing they do, and this is what they get you to. This is what they do to get you to like them and fall in love with them, and why they love bombing you, because you see a version of yourself. The traits that you have, they wish they had, and that's another of the reasons why they chose you as supply. So what they do is they copy that supply, they copy them traits and the good things about you and the gifts that you got, so they could try to become who you are. I call them Mr. and Mrs. Potato Heads, because what they do is that they pick up everything from all these people along the way, like their personalities, their gifts, their traits, and everything style and everything like that, and then they just become this one big pile of mess, and you don't know who they are really. They don't even know either. Yeah, because they played a good person. Yeah, correct. They played a good person, and so they pretend good and then make you out to look bad. Oscar, have you experienced that codependents are draining and not worth your time? Yes, codependents. Yes, Oscar, I experienced that. Codependents are draining and they're not worth your time. Yes, because they're not a good investment, because you invest in them, right, for them not to do nothing or reciprocate it. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, if because a codependent, they don't reciprocate, right? A codependent don't reciprocate, and they are useless. They're never going to do anything. So you don't they don't reciprocate, and okay, at least if you're not going to reciprocate, at least what I give you, take it and make something. What you give them, they're not even going to take it and make nothing out of it. So it's a bad investment. It's the waste of time and energy. And then it's like, and then you're dealing with a leech. Once you give them something that you have, they're gonna want more of it and more of it, because they are a leech, and you don't want a leech. And the more you feed a leech, the more the leech get bigger, and the more they want. Craig, they treat their victims one way, treat their harems another. Well, they have a harem of victims as well, Craig, because they treat all their harems of victims the same. But what you mean, they harems of people that they treat as friends? Because if you're talking about the harem of people that they treat as friends who see they fake false image, yes, correct. And some, most of the time, but you got to understand, they do everybody wrong. They do everybody wrong. But for the most part, yeah. But when it comes to the, when it comes to the supply, definitely yes. It's no, just a little bit. So that's mostly accurate. On crack, feels like there is an insurance policy been wrote in my name, like a death certificate. Oh, that is true, Craig. That's a new thing everybody need to be careful for. That's a new thing everybody need to be careful about, because that's what's going on, and that's what's been going on, and it's going on even more now. So yes, that is true what Craig just said. Feels like there is an insurance policy. Feels like there's an insurance policy been wrote in my name, like a death certificate. Yes, you got to be careful, because people will do that. Yes, it's been happening, and it's still happening today. So yeah, be careful about that. Right. Satan wants death so he can get away with his evil ways. Craig, Kevin, I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. No, I know what you're saying. No, this, Craig, believe me, I understand. Like, trust me, Craig, it's pretty much nothing you could hit me with that I don't already know, or kind of seen, for the most part. I know what you're saying. I understand, Craig. I do. We smell. Spending time with dark spirit people can leave you ill for a few days. Yeah, yeah, because it's that energy. It's that energy around, that dark energy, like, you know what I'm saying, that black cloud. That energy is real. It don't lie. Energy is real. Energy is important. That's why you got to protect it. That's why you got to protect the space in your energy. And this is why you got to watch who you lay down with, because when you lay down with somebody, you guys are transferring, you know, you're transferring. So depending on what type of person you're dealing with and you laying down with, then that becomes you. That gets on you. Is that serious? That's MSUCN. I don't know what you mean by that. MSUCN. MS, you can be free if you want. You are the author of your story. Yeah, that's true, MS. Craig, my stomach has been hurting for days. Can barely eat, feeling nauseous, think they're trying to project their dark energy on me. Yeah, that happens. Craig, that definitely happens. Right, because because you gotta understand, if people dark, they want you to be dark too. And if you're not dark, that's what they want you to be dark. So they'll try to make you dark. And if they know good, they know good, so they don't want no good for you. So of course they want the worst for you, like the worst for themselves. D. Smith, it will go away. Oscar, the particular codependent won't kick his narcissistic mother out of his house, and this is after 13 years. I cut him loose. Yeah, yup, great decision you made, Oscar. Craig, yes, their friends, harems, yup. Yeah, they treat their harems, they treat their friends like right, because these are the people that they treat good, so they can use them to protect them and agree with their false image of they're such a good, wonderful person. So they really not they really friends, they really they fake friends that they use to protect them and keep them so they can go against their supplies and everybody else who they don't like or treat as victims. So they really just being used, and at the end they really don't have no real friends. And the people that they keep as friends are people just like them, and they all doing the same thing. So that's basically it. They all just doing the same thing. That's all it is. They got people that's friends that's just like them, and they all think the same, and they all use each other for the same reasons. Craig, feel like they put a bounty on my head. Wow. Yeah, just pray and be careful, Craig. Because I know it could be true. Craig, thank you, John. I need to get the Holy Spirit back. Miami boys. Kevin, a harem is a good group of women that are men. Hey, it's a group of. Yeah, but that's where you could get it from. That's what you might get it from. But that's what that saying comes from, where you get it from. It could be used in both contents. I don't see all the comments. I don't see all the comments. Face me. Well, I don't know why. I don't know why you don't see all the contents. You will like people who their dirty work for them. You know, like people who do their dirty work for them. Yeah, flying monkeys. Yep. Yes, but Miami boy. Yeah, that's used. That is true. But yeah, because it's used in mostly narcissists have, mostly narcissists. The harem is the opposite. The opposite of them. Who they and romantic relationships with. So yeah, that's why it calls a harem because they always got harems of people. So it's used the same and it's used in the same in the same form of a content of when explaining that because you explain it in the way of both parties and what they both use the other gender for. Look at the world. I don't see all the comments. Uh, They use the same con every time because it works. Yeah, they don't really have no new tricks. Yeah, they don't never really have no new tricks. They just basically do the same thing over and over. So once you learn, and that's another way how to deal with them. Once you get and they did everything they could do to you, and how they operate, you kind of understand a pattern and what they do. And it's kind of like with me, it's kind of like, oh, that's all you got, because it's kind of like child kid mind stuff, like in some parts, and some cases it's extreme, it's dangerous, and etc. etc. But in some forms, it's like you're a child, like that's all you got. And when you great rock them and just don't let some of the stuff don't bother you or get to you, and once they see that, it becomes lesser. It'll happen, but it becomes lesser, and they'll just keep trying to do the same thing. Like if they criticize you, they just keep trying to criticize you more. Like they'll just try to find ways to criticize you to where it really hurts. They'll try to criticize you and say it don't work, you're not offended, or it didn't really get you that mad. What happens is they try to criticize criticize you harder or make it more intense, and they'll just keep looking for, you know, fishing to how can we or me really get them mad? Let me up the ante. That's the word. They just keep trying to up the ante to get you to that place. So they'll just keep trying to up the ante and up the ante, and then So yep, I'll do something on that. If someone has the getting away with gene, I'm out of the um. Are you talking to somebody else? If someone has the getting away with it gene, I'm out of there. They want to take you down with them. Yeah, they want to take you down with them. Yeah, people, because you gotta understand, these people have the crabs in the bucket mentality. Like, if they down, they want you down too. They don't want to see you going up, and they'll do everything they can to pull you down from going up to stay at the bottom where they at. Yeah, some of them are bullies. Yeah, some of them are bullies. They always have something negative to say, or always taking jabs or throw insults my way, or backhanding backhanded compliments. Yup, backhanded compliments. Like I was saying earlier, like, oh, you did a good job today, you know, hence about time you did a good job. It's the only time you do a good job, and the other time you don't do a good job. But today, backhanded compliment. Today you did a good job. Yep. But they taking jobs at you, and it's because they mad and jealous about you about something, Craig. That's what it is. They envious of you and jealous of you, and they mad about you to where it gets them to the point to where they keep taking jabs at you, and you're not being who they. It could be you're not who they. Just because they'll just like you because you're not like them. That's enough right there. When you different from them, you're not a person like them. That's enough for them to hate you and dislike you and always like attack you. Always take jabs and throw insults your way and backhanded compliments. D. Smith, they lose everyone and end up alone. Yeah, they lose everyone. Yeah, Uh, that's end up what happening. And sometimes some of them do end up with somebody. They find somebody they can marry, and end up with somebody. And then some of them they just don't end up with nobody. And some of them they do end up married to a person just like them or just worse. So that's end up what that what end up happening. They find somebody like them and stay with them to the end, or they just don't. They just end up alone. Shane Sia, do anyone know how to work around these people, or should we just avoid jobs that have a lot of them working there? Hey, Shane, see it. Yeah. It depends. I, this is how and I need to do a video about how to not how to work around them too. What you do is you focus 100% on your job, Shansia. You dedicate your time and energy of doing your job well, and then minding your business and staying to yourself. If you can, Shansia, focus, take pride, and don't fall into like the foolish conversations. Don't get into the arguments. You can speak to who you want to speak to about things that you agree to talk to. Nothing that goes against what you believe or something that breaks boundaries and so forth and so on. But things that you're comfortable talking about, you can be very professional and just have a quick conversation. Keep it brief and keep it to where you want it at. Have them meet you at the level that you at. That way you don't, don't get into the gossip, don't get into the drama, don't get into the nonsense. Focus on your job. Do not let them get to you. Do not let them make you mad. Ignore what they say because it's just to try to get you mad and insults. So Shansia and everybody else, try doing it this way. Go in there with your peace, your happiness, and joy. Focus on yourself. Focus on your life. And when you go home, don't take work with you. When you go to work, don't bring home with you. And you just focus on your job. That's all you do. D. Smith, they use insults and jokes. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they definitely do. Craig, not necessarily D. Rules. Oscar, whenever would say I didn't mean anything by it, that was what they really were thinking. Yes, that's definitely true. Yeah, that's the underhand. That's the underhand insult and jabs they take at you. Uh, do you try to find jobs for empaths? Miami boy, these people are around us everywhere. It's impossible to avoid them. Yeah, that's true for the most part. Miami boy, definitely. Shansia, one of them was harassing me, watching me the whole time I worked. Literally wouldn't take her eyes off of me. Yeah, that's that stare of anger, jealousy, and rage towards you. Yeah, she very jealous of you. She's jealous of you. Yeah, but you see what I'm saying? I see that, but Shansia, ignore that. Or if you really feel comfortable about it to where it's really like bothering you, you can't make a complaint about it. But if it's really not complaint worthy, just ignore her. Focus on your job. Get out of there. Because in some cases, some of the stuff that they do that don't bother you, they will kind of stop and switch to something else. They'll keep doing stuff that they think bother you because they have an illusion. Some stuff that don't bother you, they think bother you because it will bother them. So even in that, her watching you, try to see if you can ignore it. I mean, but as far as what you can do, Shinsea, is look at the history of the jobs you went to and the jobs that they work at because they mostly work at every job. So it's kind of like, oh, that was good advice. Well, thank you. Right. If it's because what I want us to do and get understand is be more tougher, right? More vigilant, right? And like, okay, ignore like all this stuff that you can ignore. It's nothing serious. Like me, I could take insults, I could take jabs, and mostly what I do when people like narcissists take jabs at me, I'll either ignore it or I'll just laugh. Like I'll laugh like it's funny. I'll laugh like the joke is funny. Like and that throws them off. Like because what happens is they see they can't get to you. It's to get to you and make you mad. So if it don't make you mad, it don't bother you, then they lose. And then it gets to the point you don't care what's coming out of their mouth unless it's really meaningful. Like if they're your boss and you tell them, they tell you to do something that you have to do, then you do that. Focus on what's coming out of their mouth that's important that you need to hear. Everything else, forget about it. You know, forget about it. Focus on your job. Focus on being the best worker you can. Focus on staying busy. And if you, and as much as you can avoid them, avoid them. You know, and keep things with them at your level of how you operate as a person. You know, don't you don't have to be who they want you to be and do the things that they do or talk about the stuff that they want to talk about. You can be yourself. They even they they even listen in on my conversations. Oh yeah, they very nosy people. D Smith, my boss said something to me and it hit me to the core. What did he say, D Smith? I'm Shansia. Great advice. Thank you. You're welcome, Shansia. Um, she may be attracted to you. Watch get a recorder so when she watch get a recorder so when she say the wrong thing, you get her for harassment. Well, yeah, you could do that. Yeah, Miami boy, yeah, you could do that if you feel you need to. Yeah, definitely do that. D Smith, don't be a social butterfly. Oh, social butterfly. But see, listen here, DC, this is what I'm talking about, D Smith. There's nothing wrong about being a social butterfly. Think about butterflies. Butterflies are beautiful, right? So look, butterflies are beautiful. And it's called social butterfly for a reason. There's nothing wrong with a social. Most they say most Geminis are social butterflies. You know, you got a lot of people who are social butterflies. See, he tried to insult you, but it's actually not an insult. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes we gotta look into what people saying. See, you see what I look at that. You're a Gemini, like I said. You see that? Now think about that. Think about the odds of that. Think about the odds of that, D Smith. You get what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So now I kind of feel like this was definitely meant for me to tell you this. Think of the odds of that. What I just said. Who would have knew? Thank you, Carol, for the love. You're welcome, Miami boy. You see what I'm saying? So with the insult, DRC, yeah, it's not an insult. You a Gemini. Geminis are social butterflies, and some people they just social butterflies. So even though he told you don't do that, like you good, you could be that. That's you, and it's nothing wrong with being a social butterfly. I dated I dated a narcissist who was a Gemini. You know what I mean? I know D Smith. Wow. Yeah, D Smith. See what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. You gotta look deeper in what they saying. You gotta kind of start. What we have to do, I gotta do some content on this. We have to start looking at these narcissists as for who they really are and what they truly are. You know, we, we got to start seeing them as peasants as they are. And then once you really, because that's how I see them, because I understand what they are. So, and it's not that I think that I'm better. I understand that who they are. Like they're coming off aggressive, they're coming off mean, they're coming off wicked, and I understand who they are. And I'm just glad I'm not them, and I understand them. So I just don't, I don't take them serious as I shouldn't. I don't take them serious as I shouldn't because I understand who they are. It's kind of like the little Chihuahua dog she's barking at you. You don't budge when the Chihuahua dog barking at you. You understand they're barking because they're the smallest thing in the room. You get what I'm saying? When a Chihuahua bark at you, right? You kind of pissed because you understand why Chihuahua's barking. Chihuahuas bark because they the littlest thing in the room. Chihuahuas can't harm nobody. You know what I'm saying? And they bark a lot and they don't bite. But if a Rottweiler or K9 or a pit bull barking at you, you on defense mode, like, okay, where should I run? Especially people who scared of dogs. Even if you're not scared of dogs, when a Rottweiler barks, you kind of like, okay, hold up, you know, let me evaluate the situation because this is a pit bull or a Rottweiler or a German Shepherd. So, but when a Chihuahua bark, you understand why they barking. It's like, okay, you know. Them the pit bulls and the rock rollers, they only bark for a warning, and they usually bite before they bark. So, and that's how I see the situation with them. I really see them and understand them for what I should. You know, it's not that I better, but I see them as people who need help, and people who are envious and jealous and mad, and who just want to spew out a bunch of madness. The madness and sadness and anger and the pain that they have inside of them, they want to take it out on me. They want to take it out on the world. They want to make me have a bad day. They want to make me to feel happy. And I understand that they doing that because it's something great about me. It's something about me that they're jealous of and that they don't like, because it's something good, and they just jealous of me. So I see it as that, you know? Yeah. So D Smith, that's what I said. Everybody take really in content and watch what you get it offended about. Because listen, D Smith said it hurted him to the core that his boss told him don't be a social butterfly. There's nothing negative or wrong with a social butterfly. And I pointed out to him that that's part of his zodiac sign of him. That's a temperament or a characteristic of his zodiac sign, which is a Gemini. They all social butterflies. So see, no big deal there. Conroy, you're dealing with a female narcissist. Get away from her and go no contact. Definitely. Boy wonder, why do narcs tell everyone you are a stalker, but the narc is calling you? Because that's who they truly are. That's what they do a lot. 205 Jenna, social butterflies are called floaters. They're nobodies. They're nobody's friend. They just hang with everybody pretending. I worked as a flagger in construction. D. Smith. A flagger in construction. Cornell. What is a flagger in construction? I think I know. Cornell, you don't want narcissists to know everything about you because they will use it against you later. Yep. Oh, you also might not be able to get away from them. Jenna, right, Cornell. Um, Jenna, I never heard of the social butterfly being called floaters. They're nobody's friend. They just hang with everybody pretending. Um, oh, traffic control. Okay. Yeah, that was corny for him to say that. He probably was just mad. All right, everybody. I'm gonna end this. I'll see you guys later. See you guys on the next video upload. Oh, she said it's Jenna, 205 Jenna. It's on Google. Okay, I'll check it out, Jenna. Like D. Smith, he said it when I was saying hi to the lady truck driver. Wow, he was mad about that. Wow. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. See you guys. I'll talk to you guys later. See you guys later on the next live and the next video. Face me, thank you. You're welcome, Face me. Everybody have a great day. Stay narcissistic free. And just look in the description box of this video. If any information you need to know or want is in the description box of this video. All right, bye, Jenna. Narcissists are projectionists. Whatever they are guilty of, they project on you, to you. Yeah, that's 100% accurate, Kennard. Bye, decent.